Hey, you! You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed because you're an untouchable success. To support us and gain access to great exclusive shows like our brand new Supernatural watch-along Himboos, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You'll also get your lucky little mitts on hundreds of episodes of our other exclusive shows like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and the complete series of Fox Mulder is a Maniac. We do movie nights, game streaming, regular mini-series and surprise shows, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want, within reason. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by heading to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed. Probably don't need help with that word. I was thinking a lot about Mandalorian watching this movie. For obvious reasons, because Mandalorian is a television property that is now releasing a film in theaters that sort of revived Star Wars. And this movie that we're covering today is television property that came out a year after Return of the Jedi came out in theaters, 1984, to sort of like keep Star Wars alive. Like
keep the ball in the air.
Opposite end, not reviving it, but coasting on it. Coasting on that swan song. And then it was released in theaters overseas, like internationally, as like a whole new Star Wars adventure. Sort of like the Mandalorian movie.
Yeah, this is
just a couple of episodes released in theaters.
Yeah, pretty much. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched the Ewok Adventure, otherwise known as Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure. Which is it? Is it the one?
It's both.
It's like a Minecraft movie.
In a galaxy far, far away, a brother and sister search for their missing parents.
How are we going to find them?
We will. Don't worry.
And fate leads them to the magical Ewoks.
We help you.
Now, a great adventure begins.
Wuthering Heights in quotation marks.
Big thank you, before we get started, to Vincent.
I'll say it.
Thank you?
I'll
question mark?
Normal thank you. Normal, appropriate, polite, professional thank you.
Sure. Vincent is our Patreon producer.
Thank you.
Who had us watch this movie for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
This is
pain,
a movie.
I think.
Yeah.
Just the inflicting of pain, hatred.
Yeah. Punishment.
Mm-hmm.
This is a movie that came out in 1984, I believe.
Yeah, November of 1984 it aired.
Yeah, I didn't know this existed. There's a sequel.
There is, Dave, and this is the thing that I wanted to tell you on Mike. Look up the plot of the sequel. Go ahead and read.
What's it called?
It's called The Battle for Endor. We had both of these on
Ewoks, The
may
Battle
have
for
been
Endor.
beta. I was living in Germany. I was living in Europe when these movies came out. So these were released in Europe as theatrical Star Wars films. So we at least saw Battle for Endor, the sequel, on video. But go ahead and read a quick plot synopsis of The Battle for Endor, Dave.
Okay, I'm already seeing who's in it. Marauders raid the Ewok village and steal a power supply they believe to be magical. Wicked. Is that the fairy? Helps Sindel. That's the little girl.
Sindel's the little girl.
So they're still hanging out on this planet, huh?
Well, finish that sentence.
Escape the evil witch Charl, like Carl, and they befriend a hermit who may help them save the village.
What is it? Hold on, let me pull it. What does it say about Sindel in that sentence?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay. It must be on. Read the expanded. Oh, here it is. It focuses on Sindel Tawani, the human girl from the first film, who, after being orphaned, joins the Ewoks in protecting their village and defeating the Marauders who have taken control of the Endor moon. Do you want to guess what happens in the first 10 minutes of the Battle for Endor?
Oh my God. Everybody dies?
Mace and her parents are killed by the Marauders, Dave.
Wow.
It's the same actor, too. Same actor, too, that plays Mace. They brought that child back to kill him. On screen. His dad transforms into Paul Gleason, though, which is an upgrade.
Yeah, that is. And then, a fucking fucking
Wilford
what's
Brimley.
his name? Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley is a forest wizard whose spaceship has also crashed. We'll cover that in a different. I just wanted.
Will we cover it again? Will we have to cover
We may.
that?
We probably will. I assume if they made us watch this one, they're going to make us watch the second one.
I hated this.
This was really tough. This was a slog. But I just wanted you to know before we started talking that none of this mattered.
None of this matters. It didn't matter either way, but it didn't matter either way,
but it super didn't matter.
This was originally supposed to be a 30-minute special. I looked into a little bit where Lucas was frustrated by the Christmas special.
Yeah.
Was
famously.
like, I want to, and he like was in charge of the story to this. And then whoever released it was like CBS or something was like,
I think it was NBC. I'll figure it out. You keep talking.
Basically, they shopped it around. They're like, we don't want a 30-minute thing. We'll take a movie of the week. So they stretched it out to a movie, and you can tell. You
can really tell.
It's just a series of bits that are unrelated. At one point, they have a whole sequence because the horse gets away. And I was like, so then nothing's happening. This isn't anything.
There's a lot of people in bear costumes just interacting with wildlife.
Yeah, they have to have a narrator because I think they realized, maybe even in post, that you can't understand a little thing these dildos are saying. So it's like, all right, let's get a guy to come in every now and then, not really steadily,
really
to just explain what's happening.
It's when it's like the one lesson they learned from the Star Wars holiday special, and they only learned like 30% of it.
Yeah.
So like if you've ever had the misfortune of trying to sit through the Star Wars holiday special, it's a bunch of vignettes, but most of it is Chewbacca's family. And like the first several minutes of the show is untranslated Wookiee screams. It's just a house full of Wookiees screaming at each other. You don't know. They're
add captions, subtitles, just for make it cheeky and fun.
Yeah,
you know?
you could add captions, but so to conquer that, they enlisted Burl Ives, who if you grew up at any point in America in the past 70 years, you will immediately recognize as the narrator of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Silver and gold, that guy. He narrates this movie.
But again, narrates in quotations, because it's more like they throw them in when they realize they need to explain what's happening.
That's why I prefaced it with the Wookiee stuff. It's in the moments when they realize that no amount of context clues on this Earth or on either of Endor's moons could convey what these Ewoks are saying. They have Burl Ives come in and be like, well, Jeep here is the leader of the clan, and he thinks it's not safe for these two, so Wicket has to stay behind and fiddle with a lizard.
Right.
Perhaps lick a stone.
Right. That's it.
And that's
you nailed it.
It's 100% what it is.
Can I share a couple hot takes?
I'd love
something I realized watching
this.
Number one, I hate Ewoks. I hate them.
I don't hate Ewoks.
They're disgusting little species. They have spider faces. They're expressionless little ghouls.
Well, there's
I hate them.
I think we misunderstand the Ewoks. Because the Ewoks are hideous little troll goblins. Like the first thing we like, for some reason, we think of them as being these cuddly, friendly little creatures. But like every Star Wars document that we have is not that. Like the first time we meet them in Return of the Jedi, they try like hell to eat all of our heroes.
They keep feeding the kids in this. I was like, don't eat what the Ewoks are giving you.
Yeah,
kid.
don't do it.
That's Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Like you're eating Stormtrooper.
You're eating human flesh.
Yeah.
They're going to eat Mace. They tie Mace up to eat him.
Yeah, in terms of like weird little freaks, I like the Jawas way more because I just find them to be weird little grifter freaks, and I love them for that.
I speak their language a little bit more.
Yeah. They're just going around dismantling shit and selling it, and I'm like, I love them.
One of the best
Ewoks,
lines in Star Wars is Uncle Owen yelling at the Jawa, "What are you trying to pull here?"
Yeah. And then they also just don't, like, I don't know where they are in evolution. Like in this one, they have a flying machine, and I was like, oh, so you're like 60 years out of straight space travel if you're anything like our history.
Right.
You're flying around.
You are 6 decades
from
going to Endor. Going to the other moon.
They're like living in trees. They have like backwards like they have like, oh, drink this leaf shit.
Right. They have to go get like sap from a tree, but they have really advanced like leather making and satchels.
Yeah. And they're just like chuckle fucks. And I don't know. The chuckle fucks of the forest I wrote several times. I don't know.
Teddy bear hobbits.
Yeah. and they don't feel very fully realized. Like they feel like something that George Lucas perhaps threw in to be like, well, kids like this. And I find them repellent.
They're just sort of one character. I wonder if they're a hive mind.
Yes. I didn't really know who was who.
It's impossible to tell.
Yeah.
One of them is Tony Cox.
Oh, okay. Apparently. They're
the one that's not
expressionless.
Wicked is Warwick Davis, of course.
Who's the same age as the kid in this.
That's a thing that I frequently forget about old Willow or old Warwick Davis, is that when he appears in Return of the Jedi, he's like 13 years old.
Yes. That's
He's
one of those
a
actors
child.
where you're like, man, shouldn't he be older by now? And you look it up and you're like, wow, he's like little older than us, I guess.
He was a kid in Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah. He probably had a great time. Here's my other
teddy
big
bear.
controversial thing that this made me realize. So you grew up on Star Wars,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it wasn't like a huge favorite of mine growing up, but it was a thing. It was a constant presence for sure. It was a thing that I watched and enjoyed.
I only saw it later in life. I saw it like when the prequels were coming out. I was like, I better see Star Wars. I don't think I like Star Wars. I think that 80% of what I like about Star Wars can be summed up in the names Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher, where like I think that Star Wars for the most part, it's kind of like making Indiana Jones without Indiana Jones, where I'm like, I think most of the reason the original were good, and of course Mark Hamill, is because it had like three people who had charisma and like charm, and I find Star Wars largely charmless, and this really brought it out, that realization where I was like, this is charmless to me. It's got nothing really in the world that interests me.
I think part of Star Wars' problem, and I'm not the first person to make this blazing hot take, but most of Star Wars is bad.
Yes.
A part of Star Wars' problem, I think, is it's one of those properties that's just endlessly chasing the dragon.
Yeah.
Where like trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle that the original trilogy was. And I mean, part of that lightning in a bottle was that, like you said, it's the charisma of the three lead actors, but it was also like, it was new and cool and weird and different at the time. There wasn't anything like it out that was popular, like in mainstream American movies. There wasn't anything like it. It was weird and new and unique. And that is a totally fair opinion to have of Star Wars. If you like, because the main thing I grew up on was just those three movies. Like I didn't get much into the expanded universe, very lightly. Like Shadows of the Empire was about as deep into the expanded universe as I got, like the really popular stuff. But it was like sort of like almost the monolith that was Star Wars is what I grew up with. So like,
right. And I guess the realization for me is like, the universe itself isn't particularly interesting if you don't have, and you could say this for a lot of things, obviously, like you look at why is Guardians of the Galaxy a success? It's like the universe around it is neat, but really that movie is a success because they knew to make the core characters people we like and are interesting and are like, that's why the prequels, of course, fell apart because everybody's so fucking serious. And it's like, I need someone to like here.
Yeah. And like space is a big open sandbox for everybody, right? It's sort of like a fantasy universe where like kind of anything can exist in it. So it's not enough that, oh, it's a space movie. There's got to be something in it. Like part of what makes Star Wars unique or fun was that it was blending the two, right? You have these like wizards, except we don't call them that. And it's like this blending of technology and fantasy and Star Wars.
Yeah. And this really leans into we're doing a Hobbit
This is just
story.
straight up Willow, man. They're just doing Willow shit.
Yeah, this was just a fantasy adventure to the point where it's like, oh, there's the giant spider.
Yeah.
There's the big giant at the end.
I wrote down, this is worse Krull.
Yeah, it is.
Who sat down and was like, hey, what if we made Krull, but it was like fucking bad?
Right.
Hey.
It's not even like have them be going after, have stormtroopers kidnap the parents. Have it feel like Star Wars. Because it was like, this is just a bad fantasy film.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
With a bear from the most recent Star Wars movie and a few music cues. Although most of the music is copying the score from E.T., but largely, I don't know if you noticed this, the Star Trek theme.
Oh,
the main
amazing.
theme of this movie is almost identical to the original series Star Trek theme.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah. It's just, it made me realize like this is kind of the entire problem with Star Wars since those films, those original, which is that it feels like the people in charge just couldn't grasp like how much of Star Wars was really just having those leads, having these people who were fun to watch in this world where they think so much like they love Ewoks, and it's like, I don't think they do though. Like, I don't think Ewoks are enough. I think having someone interact with Ewoks who you like is fun. Too bad we don't get any of that here.
Boy, yeah, they really settled on he's not just that Mace, the character Mace, is a bad actor. It's also that he's like just a really weirdly angry and aggressive character.
Yeah, he's just angry all the time.
Yeah.
It's just two kids where it's not the kids' fault. Two kids and a bunch of fucking ghouls and a bunch of wordless monsters chittering around these kids who have to carry the entire thing. And it's like, these kids are too young to carry the entire thing. The little girl in this is like,
maybe
she's
8.
not even old enough to really be an actress. Like she's not. Yeah, she's doing fine. Again, it's like they're kids. They're doing fine for what they're doing. It's just they didn't give them anything to do. They didn't give them an arc. There's no character arcs in this. There's no like conflict within the characters.
It seems really loosely written in a lot of scenes. Like I don't know if it's performance or directing or budget. Like they couldn't get as many takes as they needed, but a lot of like the dialogue, like they'll just sort of like mindlessly repeat a line, or they'll kind of just like trail off, or there's a lot of deliveries like that.
Yeah,
it's really strange.
Yeah, it feels like you're watching like a bad, more indie attempt to make fantasy. Like you said, bad Kroll. Like it feels like it doesn't have the Star Wars machine behind it, where you're like, can't you make this punchier? Or like it feels like it didn't think it had to try very hard to be a success. And they're probably right. And again, I feel like that's a lot of Star Wars' problem, where they're like, you just throw you throw a Jabba the Hutt in there.
Fucking Ewoks, it don't matter. These kids, eat their slop. Enjoy your slop.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just funny to me because I think that like there's two sides of Star Wars now. There's the side where it's Andor, where like we're just making something for adults. Where Andor has characters that are charismatic, but it doesn't need to be because it's being like serious. It's like we're making a serious dystopian story set in this like authoritarian regime. Where it's like I realize largely what I think failed about Star Wars is their appeal to like family and adventure. Obviously they've made enough money that like the box office,
it's where the most money comes
would
from.
say otherwise.
Yeah.
But like, I think again, the charm that you'd get in like a fun adventure, it seems to not know how to do for the most part, I would argue. Or at least personally, I find whenever they try to appeal to be like, we're going on a Star Wars adventure, I don't feel that. I don't feel that charm because it's always so like serious at the same time. It has like these touches of Dune where everybody's very serious and everything's very big. And like, that's why Andor works, because that was them accepting, like, maybe we should be for adults because it's all serious.
This is an excellent way to describe the prequels, is everything looks like Star Wars, but everyone is behaving like Dune.
Yeah. Except for Jar Jar.
Except for Jar Jar.
But that's the shit where it's like that stuff feels...
He's the Momoa.
It's like they don't know how to charm like adults or young adults. They only know how to like jangle keys for kids. Like I'm sure kids love this movie. They love Ewoks. But like they don't know how to do
this
like...
Is boring. The Ewoks don't do anything.
Yeah, they just sort of stumble.
Like part of what's fun about the Ewoks in Jedi is that they do shit. They have their wacky little traps. They are killing stormtroopers. They're smashing logs into chicken walkers. They're trying to cook Harrison Ford.
Right. The charm of an Ewok, I think, like if a modern filmmaker covered Ewoks, you do almost the like James Gunn-esque, like they're adorable but they're vicious, right? They're horribly
They're
dark.
little street punks, yeah.
Yeah, like when you realize that they're like a really dark society that are adorable looking, that's the point, right? Is you show them being like really fucked up, but they're adorable. Like porgs, where like they had a good idea where Chewie eats a porg.
Eating one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very funny, that feels very Star Wars, right? Where it's like, or that feels like the best
Honestly,
of Star
it does.
Wars.
It's
this
straight
adorable
up,
creature.
It straight up happens in, there's always adorable creatures getting maimed in Star Wars. You're right. The Tauntaun. There's that shot in Jedi. It's just that exterior shot of Jabba's palace where the one frog eats the littler frog. There's always a bigger fish, like that.
Yep.
Infamous part in Phantom Menace. You're right.
I've said it before. Like Disney should dump a pile of money on James Gunn's lawn and say, make us just one Star Wars, because he would probably make one that's more or less in the tone of what I feel like Star Wars has always like not been like afraid to capture or like dialed back on, which is like I think kind of dark comedy more.
I think it's that adventure serial tone, right?
Yeah.
So which can go a little into dark comedy, but it's more like
it's Lucas and Spielberg.
Yeah.
It's Indiana Jones.
It's that Indiana Jones
is murdering guys, but there's also some slapstick here and there.
Yeah, but they're bad
like,
guys too. And that's as complicated as it gets because it's it's Indiana Jones.
Star Wars, I feel like part of the problem is it kind of got too self-serious. Like I love Andor, but like that's like kind of an anomaly where it's like
that
Star
works
Wars
for that story,
right? Like the new Star Wars is very like dark and like everything's very serious. More, there's still silly moments, but
I think it's an overcorrection, right? Of the Star Wars is for kids.
Yeah, it's kind of this like there's this whiplash between tones sometimes where they're trying to do silly stuff, but then they're trying to do fascism, and it's like I think the silly stuff needs to actually be weirdly darker than they're making it. It needs to be him eating the pork. It needs to be that like more of that. Less. I don't know.
I think both work, and I think both are a version of Star Wars that people would enjoy. I think the one that is more authentically the original version is that toned back, restrained version, because that's who George Lucas is.
Yeah,
he's a guy he doesn't have that much darkness within him. You're
right. The Ewoks weren't a huge part of Star Wars, the original.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think ultimately standing back from it, watching this is so removed from Star Wars. And what I mean by that is like, it's all new characters on this planet that was like in one of the movies. And it's like, you're really taking in like Star Wars as a universe. And they're doing the thing that we say that needs to happen more, which is tell a different story in the universe, right? Like on paper.
I like some of these ideas on paper.
Yeah, an adventure fantasy with the Ewoks is on paper like, oh, that's a good idea. But just watching it, I realized like without Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill,
you need some kind of spark. Like you were saying, to be clear, just to clarify, when I said the restrained tone is more George Lucas's tone, I meant obviously George Lucas and restraint are not words that get used together frequently. I meant like the PG version, like the kind of family friendly. Like it's dark, but it only gets a certain level of dark. It's still kind of Looney Tunes dark, but Looney Tunes is dark. But anyway. What was I saying before that?
You're talking about
it was directly related to what you're shit.
Garbage movie. This movie was 1,000,000 years long, by the way.
Oh yeah. There's just no spark there. Like I think you're right about if you had given this idea on paper, a family crashes their speeder, and they just have to repair it. And the only help they have on this weird planet are these Ewoks. And like the kids get separated and they have to get back to their parents or something. Like on paper, this could work if you put it in the hands of somebody like James Gunn, who could make the Ewoks, even though you actually have the Ewoks have distinct personalities and have these bits be fun and come up with pitfalls on the adventure that aren't just them constantly stepping on their own balls. Like it's every calamity they get into is just calamities they invent. Like you mentioned, a horse gets away. That's because like one of them makes a loud noise and scares the horse. Then like the camp gets overrun by these magic fireflies because fucking Mace can't stop fucking with wildlife and he tries to catch one.
Yeah, this would be the shortest story ever if they just stopped dicking around.
It's like a road trip movie where they kept running out of gas.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
They kept forgetting to get gas and running out.
Oh, we forgot gas again, you know?
Yeah. For
another getting gas montage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's a parents looking for the kids after a crash, and they shouldn't be doing this with their kids. It's fine. And then
that whole opening is thrilling. I told them to stay right here. Well, they're not, Jeremit, or whatever your name is.
Yeah.
They're
it's
chilled. Why did
parents.
you leave them? Like, this movie is the story of humans who can't stop wandering away into the woods in the middle of the night.
Yes.
It happens
The
several
mom
times.
is Data's mom in Star Trek.
I knew she was from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew I recognized. I was looking. I thought she was original series. Because
She
she has
might
a bunch
be.
of like
They
Gunsmoke.
reuse a lot of.
I looked specifically for it. I didn't see her, but she does have a lot of like stuff from the 60s around the same time. But her delivery is very Star Trek. Like this opening sequence.
Oh yeah.
Like the establishing idea, like, oh, these two people next to this crashed spacecraft, and they seem to both be TV actors. She definitely is, and she's doing it in this big, like, we have to find the power source for our. It's just the way that they delivered.
It's very
science,
TV actor.
yeah. Very science. The way they delivered the science fiction exposition too was just very classic Star Trek. Anyway.
And so we have they get seemingly killed by a giant. I thought that would have been cooler. Sounds like it didn't matter anyway, so they're just orphan these kids right here and now.
They're going to die in 10 minutes in the next movie.
Yeah. And then the kids get found by the Ewoks, who are, again, the dad is inventing a flying machine. The narration, by the way, is like, sometimes we need the narrator. Sometimes they do a part where he's flying and the narrator goes, he sees a strange object below, as we're seeing him see the strange object. And it was like, wow, for once you don't actually need the narrator here.
Right. We don't need to, we can connect those dots.
Right. It's like,
those are fairly simple concepts.
Yeah. So they take the kids in. The little girl is briefly sick.
Right. She gets like bear flu.
Yeah.
They get her all sick with their avian fucking flu. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. They capture, what's his name? Mace. Not to be confused with Windu.
No, different
I was like,
Mace.
that would have been cool. Yeah. And then like they just have this part where the little girl's sick and they feed them, and it's just like we're just trying to
kill 30 minutes. Like it takes them 20 minutes to get the kids. They fight with Mace, who immediately wants to shoot all the Ewoks. So relatable character. They tie him down. And then they have this, one of my favorite parts of this movie is all these Ewoks are like on top of him, wrestling with him after he's tried to shoot them all. And he's like, you guys can't keep me down.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to one of the Ewoks fiddling with his laser gun, and he almost blows his own face off. Incredible moment.
They're trying to do, again, nothing. Mark Hamill's great. He's had a great career. I would argue Luke Skywalker is the least charismatic part of the originals, where he's so whiny, and I'm always like, someone just hit him in the back of the head. And he's kind of supposed to be. That's why you have Han and Leia to balance it out.
Yeah,
you know,
he gets fun in the. I mean, I'm partial to Luke just because I grew up with the movies, but he gets more fun in the third one.
For sure.
When he just shows up at Jabba's house, he's like, listen, you can let Han go, or I'm going to kill like everybody in here.
Right. When he gets more badass, that's his arc, right? Is like he slowly becomes kind of like this, you know, I mean, if you count the new movies, this aged kind of cynical Jedi master. And like you can see that even in the, you know, they're doing the thing in the first three films, which is that he's supposed to be kind of a whiny little shit, because then by the third film you're like, is he going to be evil? You know, people forget that that's a question. Point.
Yeah.
This kid, they thought, but I guess it's all to say that I feel like they thought like Luke is the guy, right? And so they felt like they modeled Mace after Luke,
very
because he's
Luke-like. Yeah,
he's dressed in that outfit that looks like a
his X-Wing outfit, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just whiny and like aggressive and defiant in a way that's not like fun though, where it's just it's sort of like, this isn't why people liked Luke.
It's like they looked at his early scenes with Yoda in Empire Strikes Back and misunderstood why those scenes were fun.
Yeah,
and those are fun because Luke is impotently frustrated. Like he's frustrated with Yoda, but like Yoda's just giving him shit back, and it's either that or it's running right off of his back. In this one, it's just this kid is being aggressive and suspicious and cruel and violent towards these bears that have just helped him and his sister. Like he's really, it's not fun or funny like it is in Empire. They completely misunderstood why the scene was funny.
If the bears were more dicks, I don't know. We get a bunch of names.
Or if they had more personality to it, or if there was more like back and forth. It's just like the bears being helpful and the kids screaming at them and pointing a gun at them.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
And then the bears, I think one of them's name is Wedgie, but I don't know. They just keep saying that. I wrote down Wedgie. I wrote down Fetch.
Jesus, dude, I don't know. Wicket's the only one I know.
The problem is all their names sound also like things they would just say.
I came up with my own names, like Sideburns, Lumberjack.
I gave up immediately. I was
Magician.
Like, they all just look like the same teddy bear.
Well, you know which one I'm talking about. Like when I say Lumberjack and when I say like Wizard or Gandalf.
I know,
the
which Wizard one. Yeah.
You know,
it was
Lumberjack.
Also like that feeling of like, how old are they all? Like, they could be in their 40s. We don't know.
Well, we learned that Gandalf is like as old as the trees.
Yeah.
That's what they tell us. He can hypnotize spiders and trolls.
He literally yells at them for more medicine too. He's like, "Get us more medicine. She's still sick." And it's like,
and he repeats that same phrase like 3 or 4 times. It's the thing I'm talking about, where they will just mindlessly repeat some lines. I guess because they were expecting the scene to stop, and it kept going.
It just kept going.
Listen, we need to get this puppy to 90 minutes.
Yeah, they sneak out in the night, and he gets attacked by a tree or something.
No, he gets attacked. Well, he gets attacked.
It's like a thing in a tree.
A wolf warthog. Oh, that's earlier. That's when he goes out with them to get the medicine. He sees like this little squirrel in a tree and shoves his hand in there because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
and of course it almost gets eaten by something because this is Star Wars.
Yeah, he just sticks his hands in tree hole because he sees a worm in there. Yeah,
it's not even a worm. It's like a little like skunk-looking chipmunk thing, and he has like this like detached Jeffrey Dahmer leer on his face, like Dahmer watching The Exorcist 3, and just becomes hypnotized by this thing and shoves his arm in the tree to grab it, and it's like this lizard trying to eat his arm.
It's the Chuck Palahniuk novel Rant, which is about someone who keeps putting his hand in holes to get rabies specifically. He's a Chuck Palahniuk
it's
character.
A Chuck Palahniuk character.
He's just such a little dickhead.
Yeah, but
there's a ferret. By the way, I love the alien animals because they're like, it's the 80s. They won't know what a ferret is. And watching him like, that is a ferret.
It's a ferret. I do have Space Horse written down.
Yeah, Space. Oh, miserable horse. The horse that they put all the shit on, and the horse is like, all right, I guess.
This isn't going to be the new thing, is it? Like, all you weird pink apes are going to start putting these tents on my back, are you?
My favorite was the owl, because they're like, what's the most alien bird we can get? And it's like an owl. Come on, guys.
What's the Gandalf
put
scene?
Some shit on it.
They're trying to convey that he's wise and magical, so they threw an owl in. Yeah, at least give the owl like a mohawk so he looks like he's from space.
Reminds me, Star Trek obviously famously has done this as well.
Yeah, they just put antenna on a dog.
Yeah, or like they get an emu, or like Deep Space Nine has like an emu at one point where they're like, "Ooh, it's like an alien bird." It's like, no, that's an emu. Yeah. Why do you think we're stupid?
That's some 1940s producer thinking.
Yeah. Get a ferret in there. No one's seen a ferret.
People don't know what that animal is.
This is why I wrote I wrote how am I only 20 minutes into this at this point, because I legitimately thought like we're halfway done.
We must be halfway, but no, we don't get to the halfway point until they finally leave the Ewok camp to go on the adventure.
Yes, halfway point. They go, it's the Caravan of Courage.
Yeah.
Where the idea is they're picking up people on the way.
It's the Fellowship of the Ring.
It's very Fellowship. But they get attacked by like a stop motion werewolf warthog.
Yeah, giant
there's
warthog.
some good effects, by the way. There's some bad ones too. Specifically, the spider, where they're like,
Boy, they just
they're
didn't
like,
care
we don't know
about
what
that
HD
spider.
means. Yeah, you can see so many strings on
All
that
of the
spider.
strings. This isn't going to matter, right? It was
It's also
they thought it was going to play on television fucking 40 years
exactly.
ago. So
There's a lot of day for night as well, because I realize they're children. So it's like, they're not shooting at night. And that looks okay.
Yeah, it looked all right. But there was a lot of like genuinely impressive, like there's a lot of go motion. There's a lot of blended shots.
Matte paintings. There's some matte paintings that
Yeah.
were legit.
I looked into it. I had told you off mic that the only Star Wars crew person involved was Joe Johnson, but Phil Tippett was also involved.
Yeah. that
And
makes
Dennis
sense.
Murin, I think I also saw his name in the credits. So there was a couple of Star Wars crew people involved in this.
This is well crafted. And honestly, the one thing I can say about it is it was so bad that Lucas didn't feel the need to go back and put a bunch of CG shit in it. So it's nice to watch.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, this is kind of quaint to watch these really neat effects.
I like to watch old effects.
yeah.
Don't
I wish I could watch the original Star Wars in like high quality with the original effects, but
No, all I have is those crap Laserdisc rips on those DVD releases they did
yeah.
in, gosh, I think that was like 2012.
Yeah. They find something on the boar, right? And they're like, they find like their parents.
They find their parents' little like rig, their Dead Space rig, their
right,
health
they're
bar.
like, that means they're still alive. And I'm
Yep.
like, I think that means the opposite, but
Right, if the werewolf warthog has it, I think it means your dad is dead.
yeah, I think he's in that thing.
But
I
the
think
light's
cut him
still
open
green.
like in Jaws and like can still spill out.
I guess apparently because the light's still green, it means his health bar is still full.
Oh, he says, at least we know Dad's still alive, which I felt was like such a dark thing to say.
Really pointedly,
in a weird way.
Very
Yeah.
funny thing to say to your young sister.
Right, you can say they're still alive, but he's like, Mom might be dead.
Right,
But
he definitely
Dad's alive.
allows for that possibility.
Yeah. They go to like a fucking wizard.
Yeah, that's Gandalf.
Yeah. They get a bunch of rocks or like they get a bunch of items, and I didn't really commit enough of my attention to what these items were.
Neither did the movie. It's fine.
Yeah, because they just sort of conveniently work for the situation they're in. And I'm like, who made them? What are they?
Well, Lumberjacks is just a tooth from the skull he wears around his neck.
Right.
It was just
There's
like
the-
it was just like his marker from the John Wick movie. So like we're calling in the favor you owe us. Here's that tooth.
Right. There's a stone which like later they're like, do you have the stone to the kidney? He's like, I chucked it. And I'm like, why did you throw the thing?
They
And
show
then the Ewok has it still. He's like, I picked it up. And he's like, oh, thanks. And there's like an arrowhead in it that points to a cave. And I'm
Yep.
like, what is all of this? What is the purpose of this?
This is the scene where they get all of their magic things, their magical items, whose secret purposes will reveal themselves at the right time. All right, but because Mace is such a little shit from start to finish, he never has any respect for these bears or their bear culture. So
Yeah.
like from jump, he's like, this is a stupid fucking rock, and he throws it away. He hates these bears and their bear culture. He hated them on sight.
Yeah.
So later on, at that point you're talking to, they get to towards the end where they need to go into the Gorax's lair. That's the name of the giant. And they're like, "Do you have the rock with you?" He's like, "No, I chucked it." And then Wicked's like, "Hey man, I saved the rock. I saved the rock." He's like, "Wow!" And they have like this triumphant music. So like, "You saved the rock. Thanks, Wicked. Thanks." But it's just a big dumb old rock. I don't see how it's going to help us.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus
And it's like,
Christ,
what
kid.
the fuck? That is the movie in a nutshell, by
Yeah.
the way, is we have a problem that I caused randomly. I randomly decided to throw the rock, and then we're going to solve it moments later. Like, that's every problem is the kid leading over the fucking lake, the lake from the swamp in Lord of the Rings, and getting sucked into
Yeah.
the lake.
His like Dragon's Lair lake.
Yeah.
It like
And
teleports
then,
him
like,
underneath the surface and he can't break out. It's like a solid surface.
and then they get him out, and
Yeah.
then it lasts 5 minutes, and that's nothing connects. Like, there's no arcs, there's no like when the horse gets away, you're like, oh, maybe that'll lead to something. No, they just get the horse back.
They just get the horse back.
We get a sequence of them having to get the horse, and then they get it back. End of conflict.
I just love that he tripled down on how shitty the rock was. Like he threw it away. He rejects
Right.
the gift
Got
like
it
3
back
times. Got it
and
back. He's like,
rejects it
fuck
again.
you, Wicket, for bringing it back. How is this dumb rock going to help us?
And I still don't know, because it gives you, this movie starves you. I felt like I was in a desert trying to look for something.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, give me a puzzle. Give the characters something to solve, a riddle. Like, have them have to solve a labyrinth-style two-doors situation. Give me something.
I was clinging to the fact that we didn't know what had happened to their parents.
Yeah.
And that reveal turns out to be, the giant just put him in a cage and he's waiting to eat him.
I guess. Or they're his pets? Are they birds? I don't
know. Yeah, that's true. He might just be keeping them.
Yeah, it's unclear because I was like, why didn't he eat them on the spot? They're not. They're the size of like a fucking Tootsie Roll to this giant. So it's like, why would you save that in a cage?
Yeah, it's like finding, because he found these two people near their wrecked spaceships. That would be like you walking outside and finding two loose Tootsie Rolls next to a smashed Tonka truck.
Right, you're either going to eat them or you're going to keep walking.
These up and save these I'm going to put these in a cage in my kitchen and save these for 4 days from now.
It's one of my favorite things about giants and lore is that when you ever look at it from their point of view, they're pretty sad people because he's like living alone in a cave, saving Tootsie Rolls he finds on the ground. He's like Charlie from It's Always Sunny. Like, it's basically, this is a bunch of mice besting this guy. Like, it is Charlie from It's Always Sunny. Now I'm saying it out loud.
He's probably like the weirdest son of a bitch. He's probably like the most wanted giant in giant society.
Yeah, he has Nathan Explosion hair.
He's living so off the grid.
Yeah.
He's living in a crevice.
Right, he's got his own fucking dark story.
Right, they're like, it's the lair of the Gorax, and it's just Phil Gorax, a guy who was so fucking shitty, we kicked him out of town.
Yeah, exactly. What was his name you said?
Gorax. The Gorax, they call him.
Dare I say, this movie, I don't think they got the Lucas treatment of naming things.
He has a story by credit, but...
Yeah, but I don't think they sat him down. Showed him a bunch of flashcards and went, what's their name?
Wicked.
What's their name? Yeah.
And he helps these two children.
Or he was really like Kank. And it's just like, come on, guys, try harder.
Whittle. Sheremet.
Yeah, we talked about the horse, the bummed out horse.
Yeah, the sad horse. Sad space horse.
Yeah. I was rooting for the horse to run off with that child and go. The glow bugs, the fucking bugs from the X-Files, is going to eat them. That becomes like one fairy.
They're like tiny fairies that behave like wasps.
It was a cool... I like the imagery of that fairy. It was a cool effect.
Yeah.
Again, there's some stuff that looks good, but that demon light, that's the closest they get to planted payoff, which is he catches that thing and then it helps them defeat the giant.
Right. Yeah. That's true. Well, and the axe. He has that axe throwing thing with Lumberjack when they meet Lumberjack.
Oh, yeah.
Because they meet Lumberjack and he almost kills them both with the tree. And then Mace throws his axe and he's like, hey, can you best that? And Lumberjack's like, you're damn right I can. Everybody stand back. And he throws his axe right into the hilt of Mace's axe. So later, when the Gorax has fallen into the chasm, but he's climbed back up and is about to eat his sister,
Mace kills him.
He has to make that throw again with Lumberjack's axe. Yeah.
Mace takes a life in this, and I appreciated that. I also laughed. Did you laugh really hard? So they have the spider puppet they hurl into the fucking chasm with several other spiders. And then they basically set up a tripwire for this loser giant. They trip him and he falls down some stairs. And then they send him hurling off the side of this chasm. And they do a shot of him like, bruh, like fucking Gaston, like he's gone.
Yeah.
And then like a Cannibal the Musical comedic bee, they're like wrapping it up and the giant is like, back out. And then he axes him and they do the same shot of him, back down. And I'm like, well, he's just going to come back. Like, logic has shown us that apparently falling down this chasm isn't enough.
It was a different shot. It was like, right. This is kind of funny. The first one, he's like sliding down on his butt like an asshole.
Oh, yeah. He's joining that spider and everything else down there.
It looked slightly more recoverable. The second shot is just him way out in the center of the abyss. Just fallen. Just face up towards oblivion.
Yeah. It was just funny because the mom shoots him off the cliff first and I was like, that's brutal. Yeah. And then the kid has to take the life. It's not enough for the mom to take that hit. They're bad parents. They're really bad parents.
Hey, look, he killed Lumberjack. He owed him.
Yeah.
Take Lumberjack's axe to hell with you, Gorax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another Ewok dies in this.
Yeah, he gets fucking smushed by rocks.
He gets his head crushed by rocks.
I enjoyed that part because I hate the Ewoks.
Yeah, it was good. It was poignant when Lumberjack died.
Yeah. It's, man, what a fart. I was so happy it ended. It ended with a jamboree, because of course it did.
Because they're Ewoks.
That's what they do. My last few notes was literally like, please be the last scene. Come on, last scene. Let's have the last scene. I know this is a movie from the 80s. I know you can just roll credits anytime now.
We just punch right out of here, yeah.
Yeah, just fucking end.
I have it written down. They're going to end up accidentally marrying one of these Ewoks.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a super RRR moment where Lumberjack grunts a plan at Mace. It's when they're in the Gorax's lair and they're going to use the Gorax's giant axe as like a seesaw to catapult Mace.
They launch the kid.
Yeah. So he like kind of grunts and gestures at Mace, and Mace is instantly like, I'm game.
Yeah.
Completely understands the plan.
Does the kid, did I get this wrong? Where did the rope come from?
I'm not sure.
Because if that was him just unraveling part of the cage, the parents could have done that. They could have done that day one.
They didn't need to wait for him to get there. That's true.
They're the worst parents. They're literally just sitting there going like, oh, we're so caught. And then they need their child and a bunch of fucking little freak teddy bears to save them.
Like, it's Mace. Oh, thank God, it's Mace.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, that's bad for you.
I mean, I can see why little Sindel is about to be orphaned in the next film.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm so excited that we got to see this triumphant adventure for this kid, and he's just going to get killed by space marauders in the next movie.
Not surprised. It's rudderless. This you can see like, oh, I guess they never really knew what to do with Star Wars at any given moment. They'll make a movie and then they'll go, okay, scratch that.
What about this? Yeah. Not this. Okay, not this. Nobody wanted this. All right.
It shows like this profound lack of vision where it's like without Lucas there, they just don't know what to fucking do. It's so weird. Again, to me, I really do think the best comparison in my mind is if they started making Indiana Jones movies without Indiana Jones in the world. Like, I think obviously that sounds outrageous to compare Star Wars to, but I really think Star Wars, because I mean, you'd think they'd be able to create new and exciting characters. I just think it's the where's Poochie situation where it's like every Star Wars without those three has been like trying to invoke our memories of being with those three. It's been like, oh, this kid dresses kind of like Luke Skywalker. You like Luke Skywalker?
Yeah.
I was talking to Cody today about this. I have to credit Cody for this. Is like the original Star Wars were inspired by things that Lucas grew up with. Every other subsequent Star Wars was inspired by Star Wars. It was, let's make more Star Wars.
It's a point we've made before where it's like, when this stuff came out, like Star Wars and Indiana Jones, those were both failed attempts at Lucas trying to adapt something from his childhood. Like that was Star Wars was him wanting to make Buck Rogers. Indiana Jones was him and Spielberg wanting to make James Bond.
Right.
So they're iterative of those two things. Like Star Wars is iterative of Buck Rogers. Indiana Jones is iterative of James Bond, but they're new things. And then they became the things that like the next generation of pop culture within those respective areas were iterating upon. Yeah. But like we're sort of stuck in this cycle, the Caravan of Courage cycle, if you will, of trying to recapture that exact same lightning in a bottle. It's not like we're not iterating on Star Wars. We're just trying to remake Star Wars over and over again.
Right. It's people who are too scared to do something new with it.
It's got to be the new thing. It's got to be and not like we haven't had those things. Obviously, like Harry Potter and other things have been created and come out and been hugely successful. Influential properties that have then gone on to have stuff iterate off of them. But I think, to 100%, I totally agree with Cody. I think that's been the problem with a lot of these properties. I think that's the problem with pop culture in general right now is we're sort of stuck in a place where everything exists forever on the internet. And I think we're just remaking things instead of iterating and moving forward.
there'll always be someone who comes along and gets something through, and it gets harder and harder. But yeah, this at least was a nice reminder of like, this is how it goes, right? You make the thing.
It's always been like this.
And then everybody's like, can we milk this? Can we make more? And like, it just really makes me more and more go like, I think it's just the 3 movies. I really do. I think like Star Wars seems like one where you're like, you can build off of that, but they're not willing to tell a new story. And when they do like this, they clearly don't know why it worked in the first place. And I think even Lucas doesn't. I think, again, it's like the chemistry of the actors who probably, they improvised a lot on set. They worked with him. Star Wars wasn't special to them.
That's
versus where now you have these people who grew up on Star Wars.
I think this is something that we'd said before, too, and I don't remember. This may be as far back as Cracked. I don't remember. But there's something about Star Wars being less special the more of it there is. And I think the more of the universe that got filled out, I think that definitely hurts it. Because part of what captured my imagination of Star Wars as a kid was that there was so much stuff that you knew a little bit about or kind of got little images or hints or references towards, but you had to fill in all the blanks of it yourself, like the Clone Wars, like the Anakin Obi-Wan fight. All of that history that they referenced, that was all in our imaginations. And all of the corners of the universe we got to kind of think about. So like all these Star Wars comics and stuff were coming out and being like, well, maybe Star Wars could be this and this and this. I just think the more it got filled out, the less it captured. Maybe this is just a theory. Maybe the more it got filled out, for me anyway, it just felt like less of a place that appealed to my imagination in terms of, there's mystery out there. There's all these different sorts of stories and intrigue that could be filled in a universe like this. And it's like the more of it you map out and be like, no, Star Wars is this and this only. Or like, anyway, it's just the more rules, I guess, we lay down and the more
it's hard. It feels like it's like if you lived in a famous mansion and you wanted to remodel, there's that feeling of like, how could you possibly do that? How could you remodel this historic place that you're in, right? Like it does that. It feels like everybody who subsequently made a Star Wars, it's that feeling of like you're in someone else's house. And you can't just like knock down some walls and move in. And you can't just knock down the East Wing and build a ballroom. But you kind of have to. And that's why the prequels, why people have respect for the prequels, I guess, because it's like the prequels aren't great, but it was him going like, let's tear this thing open,
that's
baby.
Completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, it still has a lot of the same characters, but it's like, it takes someone to go like, fuck that. That's why, like, of the new movies, my favorite moment is the one that I think a lot of fans hated, which was, it should have been the ending of the first one, which is fucking Skywalker hurling the lightsaber over his shoulder. That should have been the ending of the first one. It really should have been.
Yep.
Because that is the attitude you kind of need to make a Star Wars, is to say, like, fuck it. I'm going to make my thing. I'm going to make something that is meaningful to me. It's just there's no mechanism that allows someone to do that with Star Wars. And you see it starting here, I think, which is like, let's be as safe as humanly possible. Let's be this like, let's hold. It's like the Indiana Jones where it's like, the famous scene where he just shoots the guy. And then in the subsequent movies, they keep doing like references to it. Like there's a reverence there. And it's like, no, that was them solving a problem on set.
It would be better for us to try to find new moments of spontaneity like this.
Right.
Not the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
The thing. Yeah.
We talk about iteration versus remaking.
Right, and that's why, like, I keep going back to, I guess it's just the 3. Not necessarily narratively just the 3. I just think, like, okay, they're just not capable, really, of extending the film universe or this.
Doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't seem like it. And it seems like that was very clear from the start, I guess, thanks to the
because they're
Ewok
already,
adventure.
I joked that this is worse Krull, but boy, they do take a lot of beats from Krull and a lot of beats from other things. This is just like such a pastiche. Like we pointed out, it's barely identifiably in the Star Wars universe, which is part of the reason
That's
why
part of the appeal.
Part of the appeal and part of the reason in the defense of these TV specials, the holiday special included, is just they didn't really know what Star Wars was yet, and they're trying to figure that out with these things. They're exploring what it could be, which is kind of part of the thing we're talking about. It's just, it's already such a, like I don't want to say soulless, but it's such a,
I keep using charmless because
uninspired. Uninspired pastiche of similar things. And it's like, what if we just kind of did this like kind of fantasy movie with kids on a moon? It's like, is that how you want to extend the story of Star Wars?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like this meandering slop that was clearly meant to be 1/3 of the length. Like if it was 30 minutes long, this thing cooks.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, if it's just all of the beats with like them going with, all the cool effects beats with the creatures and stuff, that's a fun 30 minutes of TV in 1984.
Yeah.
Like,
that's fair. Yeah. But this, boy,
this is crap.
Real piece of shit film, guys.
Yeah. You should not have released this. And I can just imagine some Italian person getting fucking. Imagine sitting in a theater to watch
this.
A
new Star Wars. Yeah,
the new Star Wars adventure, a year after Return of the Jedi. So you're still like white hot over Star Wars.
Yeah, this would really like shake my faith.
Yeah, this is probably why we didn't see any more Star Wars movement for 15 years.
Yeah. Well, except for the sequel to this.
That's what I mean. Like the sequel, I think, comes out like 1 year later, which I think is still like, 1999, so 14 years of no Star Wars.
Yeah, that was good times. That initial excitement, where it's like, we didn't have Star Wars for a while. Like it's what I think we got to do now. It's like we need a break.
I mean, The Mandalorian movie is the first Star Wars movie since 2019, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess we got a break.
Yeah, we got a pretty sizable break.
Yeah. By the time people listen to this, we will have seen The Mandalorian. We haven't seen it yet. So,
no.
Do you want to make any predictions to see if they'll come true?
My prediction is that it's going to be fine.
Okay. I predict that Grogu will die of a heroin overdose.
Oh, those kinds of predictions.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fine that's a
I think
perfectly reasonable.
I think they're gonna get that fight with the Hutt, that slug Hutt in the arena, and he's gonna crush Mando's head. He's gonna pop his eyes out and crush his head.
And then Grogu gets really depressed, falls into heroin, and guess what happens? It's just the ending of Requiem for a Dream.
Heroin Yoda. Imagine Yoda on heroin.
I can imagine that. Good shit this is. Yeah. Vincent, we're done, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Vincent, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. This was a real piece of shit movie.
Yeah, this sucks. This is a bad movie.
Yeah, don't watch it. Nobody watch it.
No, it's definitely not worth the cost of a Disney Plus subscription that you are required to have to watch. Because this is not watchable anywhere unless you can crime it. I tried. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, this is not even a fall asleep during Thanksgiving if it was on the TV type of movie. Like, it is just... It's nothing there.
It took me hours to watch.
Yeah, it's a hard watch.
I had to take several breaks.
It's painful. Thank you, Vincent.
It's a slog, but thank you.
Yeah. This was through our Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. If you go on there for just $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, Him Booze, which is our supernatural podcast. We also watch movies every Friday night with our patrons. Movies like Star Wars. I don't think this isn't even a fun movie night watch. I don't know about watching this.
It's like Manos: The Hands of Fate.
Yeah, there's not even much to make fun of.
It's a classic Mystery Science Theater episode, but it's kind of a boring episode because the movie itself is so bad they're struggling to make fun of it.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be one of those situations.
Yeah, I think so too.
We also have a store. Head over to gameplayunemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Please rate and review our podcasts wherever you're listening. And check out our new show or other show, Badical, Badical, wherever you're listening. It's our Mortal Kombat parody show. Check that out.
Hell yeah. Oh, and check out Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
Still
watch that
theaters.
again.
Yeah.
Don't bother with Caravan of Courage. Excuse me.
No.
Unless Baraka is in it. If they had to defeat Baraka to add Baraka to the Caravan of Courage,
I would have liked that. I would have liked that greatly.
that Gorax would have had another thing coming.
Yeah.
They'd had an easier time with the spiders.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he would have just...
Probably about the same challenge with the horse, though.
Yeah, I don't think Baraka can fucking get a horse.
No,
The horse doesn't want to be near him.
No, his top speed it maxes out pretty quickly, and yeah, it's tough to keep horses around him. They don't like being near him.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew, or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artnessbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.